clearly see that on Georgia Smith's body, that's just a thick woman. You look at her stomach and it's flat. Do you know what I mean? There might be a little bit of chub in it. We're not all perfect, but she's at a healthy weight. She's just got big Bundesliga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm along the same kind of lines where I think we always promote how like you've got to eat healthy, you've got to stay fit and everything because it's good for your body and stuff like that. But like plus size models, like don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with it, but there's also the sense of I'm very handsy, aren't I? Yeah.
It's fine.
This sense of it is like we always say that we need to stay healthy and everything. So why aren't you doing that then? Yeah.
It's quite funny to talk about plus size models whilst we're clapping ice cream.
In emphasis throughout it. I just think that the whole idea of modelling is the idea of representation. At the end of the day, fat people exist. And so do skinny people, so do black people, so do white people. So I think everyone should be a model and everyone should be represented, whether it's clothing, whether whatever it is.
If we're gonna have people that model, I guess, the perfect human being, it should be people that are actually healthy, yeah? And that goes for both ways, plus size and too skinny, you know what I'm saying?
Plus size modelling is interesting because I think realistically, it's just a form of representation because realistically, plus size models are never like crazily obese, like unhealthy, like, more time they're just like thick, you know? More time they're just like a size 16, which isn't actually unhealthy. In many cultures that seems desirable.
Possibly it's kind of advertising something that biologically we shouldn't be. Do you know what I mean? Depending on how big a person is. If someone is a size 10, 12, 14, whatever, I don't think that's an issue. But I think when it gets to a point where it might get a bit bigger, then I don't know, they don't have that stuff in Japan or whatever.
Why is it a conversation that's necessary to have that an overweight person who could be healthy, who we don't know, is modelling?
I guess the question is, alright.
Why is it like a talking point? Is my question. Alright. Because like all these years we've seen size 0 and we've accepted that is a model.
Being fat shouldn't be promoted in a sense. That's where the sticky situation is. You shouldn't necessarily promote unhealthy lifestyle. But
I agree with that.
Some people, you know, it's not their fault. They should have the same opportunities and things like that, not just because they're fat. And there is a market for it. It shouldn't be promoted in that way, but the way that people do it, and there's, you know, a mix of everything.
I think people are just very concerned about anyone that is not what we have seen as like the norm for a long time. So I think anyone that looks a certain way will get a lot of press. If I ever get pressed, the first thing they ask is like, what size are you? How much do you weigh? How much do you work out? Whereas someone in my same position doesn't get asked that. So I think because we haven't seen it much, people are like, oh, I want to know about this. This can get clicks, this can get views. So it's more so it will get attention. So why wouldn't they put it out there?
But when we're talking plus size modelling, we're promoting something what is being overweight. I know people are naturally overweight and it shouldn't be promoted or deranked as if they're any different, but there's ways when people would see a plus size model, they would think to themselves, that's okay. That person's big like that, so it's reasonable. And realistically, it's not. It's great. Love yourself. I agree with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're fat, you're fat. But that sounded really good. I didn't mean it. Like, you're built like that. Like embrace it. Love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it's not a positive thing to be in for a long run, let's say, and if you're plus size, it's probably going to be harder than it is to lose it than it is to get any.
Well, I think in terms of plus size man, it's nice to see, man. Like, it's just nice to see not one preset. It's nice to see that you got
variations of beauty.
People, if they want to be plus size, like it's their choice. It's not up to us.
Yeah, some people are born
it's not up
fat,
to us, and it's
fat
not
mom, fat dad, and
yeah.
then they're just
and it's
they're
not
at a disadvantage. It's hard.
It's not up to us to decide how they should be.
Yeah, exactly. But there shouldn't be an advert being like,
yeah,
look at me, I'm massive. You should be like me.
Yeah.
you know,
Because then that's like basically
you
saying
can't set a role model for kids where there's
you're
like
basically saying to
a kid sees it and goes, I want to be like her, I want to be on TV, and she's 30 stone.
You basically
I think a lot of it has to do with genetics as well. Like Asian people are genetically a hell of a lot smaller. So I don't know. I don't think, especially with neither of us being doctors, I don't think we can prescribe someone from looking at them. And like, I don't think realistically you can say, yeah, over a 14 is unhealthy, because there's people that are like size 20 that run marathons.
What do you determine as fit?
What do you mean? It's pretty evident, isn't it? Someone that's fit and healthy, someone that's in shape.
What does it look like?
It doesn't look like anything. Everyone's got different body sizes, like, or body shapes. Like, some people could have naturally bigger chests, or like so. But as long as your body fat is at a healthy amount, then you're cool.
Such a hard divide because everyone should love themselves, feel positive, and know that they're like not alone. But where do we draw the line of that? It's an actual issue. What's going on? What's affecting millions of lives over the world? So having a good say on it is good and important. But when does that say get taken too far and be like, okay, we're accepted, we're like this, embrace it? It's like, yeah, but there's an underlying issue.
I just think health should be personal, and I'm never telling anyone to like not work out, not eat healthy, but I think it's something that you need to deal with yourself and say, like, if you need to go down the doctor route, do it that way. But I think it's personal between you and your medical professional. Like, outside opinions just shouldn't exist.
Talking about plus size, and you started talking about healthy and fit in it straight away.
Yeah, because the plus size models I'm talking about, the ones that everyone else is talking about.
Yeah, but it's in the same category. That's
overweight.
why I don't think. Why are we saying plus size models? The models. That's my problem with plus size model.
I hear that as well. I completely hear that as
straight
well.
away you went straight fit, healthy, and I was like, but I'm a plus size model.
you get this really skinny ones. You're basically saying, oh, you've got to be like this because that's unhealthy as well. I know there's normal size.
Yeah, no, that's the
models
thing.
and everything
That's the
like
thing. Because there's most of the models are technically an unhealthy. You know, where it used to be like, you know, size 0 and stuff like that. That's unhealthy, and that's what the majority of models on the catwalk were.
If anyone's slightly underweight, no one says anything. Like, it's fine. Like, if we're being honest, we're talking about health. Kendall Jenner is underweight. But no one talks about that. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you see her on the front cover, no one for a second will go, that's unhealthy, that's this, that's that. You should not be that thin if you are that tall. Her BMI will mean that she's underweight.
I was skinnier than this, and I was considered overweight.
Yeah, no, but that's because we have different densities in our body because we're black, and the BMI isn't for us. I was overweight my entire life.
That's what I'm saying. So when it comes to things like that, I'm a bit like,
Yeah, this is a bit irrelevant to this though. I feel like it's different.
The BMI was created by an Indian man, like hundreds of years ago, where people were in a famine. So I don't think it's representative of people's bodies. Because like, if you're black, if you're from like Africa and Jamaica and things like that, you have a different bone density. You're automatically heavier. So your BMI, even if you're tiny, is probably going to be overweight.
But at the same time, there is, you know, a leeway between each section. And even me, I'm probably like 10 pounds overweight. And I can see that I'm overweight, do you know what I mean? So I think there is still truth behind it. We still use it now.
And what's a perfect woman?
Women's... What?
In modelling, obviously.
What do you mean? Someone that
From
looks
head to
fit and
toe,
healthy?
from head to toe, fit and healthy.
Alright, so like, them things that are modelling, I don't know, flipping Nike or whatever, you see them on the model thing, they look fit and healthy, they don't look
skinny.
underweight.
Is skinny what you're trying to say?
No, because if you've seen the new Nike campaign with Georgia Smith in it, they're looking skinny.
Like the way modelling is and has been, it's just been like these super ultra skinny girls who are just parading around being like, we are the height of beauty, we are what you should aspire to do and be. But culturally, for many different people, it's not the case. Like that's unrealistic, and also that's like it's detriment. It's disastrous for children's minds to want to be that.
But at the same time, like Tessa Holiday, she did say in one of the articles, like she's 300 pounds and she's an athlete, but you're not an athlete. Like, I wouldn't call myself an athlete, like, and I go to the gym 3 to 5 times a week. Like, I know that I would be able to do more with her than her because, you know, I'm lighter than her.
Having a model that's plus size, you know, showing off plus size clothes, but she's got like her own like, look at me, she's on Cosmopolitan, this is how I look at it. But it's good that she's confident, that's a good thing. And
that's the only good thing.
But she shouldn't be being promoted so kids are buying this, or you know, even if adults are, and then kid dads look, oh, who's that, and thinks, oh yeah, look, I look up to her as a role model when she's 30 stone.
Yeah,
that's
in the nicest way possible. You don't want your kid or anyone to be that size, because that is very big. So.
She's on Cosmopolitan. That is a magazine to do with like sex and just that kind of thing, and like women, girl talk, all that kind of thing. There are women, there are men, and there are people that will deem that as sexy. And do you know what I mean? Like she's owning it, she's owning her curve, she's doing whatever. That's the purpose of that magazine. That's the audience. That's what she's trying to do. If she was on the front of Women's Health magazine, then I'd get the outrage being a bit like, no, you're really unhealthy.
But now what she should try and do is document her journey to get back to the healthiness. Do you know what I mean? If you've done this,
why are we even starting that? Lower?
Because if she's being put on the forefront of Cosmopolitan, hear me out.
Yeah.
Cosmopolitan, that's one of the leading magazines on like the women read, people look up, women on there, they're like people look up to and blah 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 blah. Yes, it's okay. That's a W for her. It's a great W, innit? But like now she with that platform, what she should be doing is showing, yo, yeah, I'm happy in my body, but yeah, this ain't the pattern.
I'm happy in my body, so I should conform to society. What society should think about me? So
it's not society though. It's like if she values herself,
so why are you
she will know that the weight that's on her is not healthy for her. Huh?
Bro, if she's up there and she's gone through all of this hardship and she's got where she needs to be and she's happy and she's doing what she loves and she's happy.
She's doing what she's doing. She's got a platform and she's taking advantage of it. So power to her. I don't think she promotes anything harmful, because she very much if you actually I follow her on Instagram and she shows her workouts, her doing health stuff. So it's a different body type, and at the end of the day, people do look like that. And representation is always going to be helpful. So
it's fine, I get that, but they should still really want to be healthier. And some of them, especially that one that you're talking about, I can't remember her name, but she is big, and there will be doctors saying to her at some point, you need to lose weight. It's not good for your arteries and that. It's clogging it up, boy.
You're not, because I don't know what her dreams were when she was a kid. What if her dream was to be on the Cosmopolitan, but then she was like a super huge kid and everyone was telling her, you'll never be on the Cosmopolitan, and now she is?
She is, yeah.
I don't know what her dreams are. I'm just like, yo, live. I mean...
Live your life.
I think it's pretty evident though, as someone that's unhealthy.
It's not evident at all, because I could be in perfect shape and looking at yourself who looks fit and healthy could be in awful shape. Yeah. Awful.
You know, you said this on your Instagram, you have polycystic ovaries. People with conditions like that, it's difficult to lose weight. I've seen videos where people struggle. Yeah. A lot. So I get it. But I think it's also a matter of being open with those kind of things as well, those kind of challenges, because not everyone has it as easy as I do, because I don't have a condition. Yeah.
I just think things like body fat percentage, muscle mass, things like that, and visceral fat are so much more of a better indicator of health, because visceral fat is the fat around your organs. And say, I don't know how overweight I am, 80 pounds, 90 pounds or something, but my visceral fat is well below normal, and I'm all good.
It's not about, I guess this is more down to the health, because it's unhealthy in the way how easy people are influenced. These days they will see that and be like, alright, cool, you know what I mean, she's on the front of that magazine like that, I can stay cool like this. It's no, the reality of that, probably 2 weeks ago you had a doctor's appointment, cholesterol was high, things weren't going well. I know, but now someone's on the front of the magazine, you'll think it's okay.
Obviously he's not a model, but he pretty much is now. Andy Ruiz Jr., who beat Anthony Joshua.
Oh, right, yeah.
Took his belts.
I heard that, yeah.
Man, they were bullying him for weeks, saying, oh, he's fat, he's this.
He is overweight.
But he's the most in-shape guy ever.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
But that's if she's advertising big clothes on she goes on a website and there's skinny girls, medium girls, and she's one of the people showing off the clothes for fat people, fine. But don't get her on the front of a magazine being like, oh yes, this is fucking... Look at me, powerful. I love that. Confidence, but not...
Confidence is key, but...
You're a role model. You've got to always think that. Everyone that's in the public eye like that is a role model to other people.
And you're basically saying...
Give me that Mackie so I look like I want to be rich on covers of magazines.
It's a nice step. I don't think it's a it's a step just in a direction where more people are being represented. I mean, it's just one extra representation. It's not like every single person in the world is being represented, but it's that one extra one which just gives like other people that aren't being represented. They're like, yo.
You like probably the happiest I've ever been. I used to have different vices and just wasn't helpful for me. You know, I was going through a lot of traumatic things and I wasn't dealing with them correctly, but I feel like I am now. So, and it's nice because, you know, even me losing weight now, I can feel different things, like I can even smell better.
Basically there's these plates and it's like the circle's that big and it's like you can fit into your favourite jeans, and the circle gets a bit bigger, then it's like you can fit into your mum jeans, and then it gets a bit bigger, you can fit into your baggiest jeans. Basically saying no matter how much you eat is how you can fit into your jeans, which kind of promotes things like eating disorders and stuff, like showing how much you shouldn't eat, whether you should undereat or not. So it's like if you start pushing people and saying things like that, like eating less. So obviously losing weight the healthy way is great and everything, but then it's like then people can go the opposite end of the scale and then start promoting eating disorders and making people not eat and things like that, which obviously is really unhealthy and bad.
Yeah, you're styling the size 18, size 22, whatever. A woman, yeah, she's buying the size 18 feeling good in that, but she should never feel like that's a permanent thing. And I feel like this comfort in being plus sized has translated into another comfort in being like that and accepting that that is how you are, or that I've seen bare overweight men and women being like, yeah, I'm just a fat guy, that's what it is, that's what I'm gonna be, and it's like, I don't know. I can speak for all this because I come from the other side and I came to this side.
I was always like overweight. I think that term's crazy, but whatever. And then I had pretty much every single eating disorder. I had anorexia, and then I had anorexia nervosa, and then I went back to anorexia. And then I went through like proper recovery with therapy when I was like 16. So I gained weight really quickly and I couldn't really deal with it mentally. So then I started binging and then started purging. So I had bulimia for a while. And when I got to 20, I was like, I'm really exhausted. I feel like I've had a lifetime of trauma and I'm 20 years old. So I'm just done. So I did a complete 180. And I was like, I'm gonna have absolutely no shame, because I wouldn't even let people take photos of me. And then I'm like, I'm just gonna go on the internet in my underwear and say fuck it to everyone.
If someone is obviously at a point where they don't need to lose any weight, then yeah, of course. But for me, you know, I want to get to my healthy weight. To me, that is optimal health, and I want to see what it's like at my optimal health. And then if I don't like it, I don't like it. But as long as I see what it's like, then that's gotta go through that journey of just understanding our triggers and what makes us want to go back to these dark paths.
That's kind of why I do what I do, because I feel like if I was younger and more people looked like me, there wouldn't have been such an emphasis on how I looked, and people wouldn't have been so like mean about it, because they'd see people that look like me all the time. Well, even though people did see people that look like me all the time, it wasn't in media and it wasn't shown in like adults on the TV, so people would think that's not normal.
I think definitely touched on that.
I'm not plus size model or plus size girl, so I can't even speak on that, but maybe. Cause I feel like plus size obviously comes in different forms. I feel like a lot of women don't have the shape.
That's what I'm saying.
Shape, like.
So it's like plus size.
I am talking.
Nah, hear me out. I'm backing you. But that's what I'm saying, right? You said plus size comes in many different shapes, but you might have plus size. When we say plus size, what are you man thinking? Everyone's gonna kind of have their own image in their head of what plus size is.
Yeah.
And that's because they've seen that person be the plus size person.
Yeah.
Twerking.
I've got this around my mouth. Wait, is it around my mouth?
Yeah.
I could crackhead.
What is this? What is this?
Don't get me wrong, because I hate when people throw down you gotta eat healthy.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah, I know you do as well.
Shut up.
Look at this.
Don't bother doing that.
Yeah, too much.
Explicit content.
Don't get him on the front cover.
Oh, good. Dad bod 2019.
But basically,